That was a nutty scene, man. Being there in the weigh-ins felt surreal. It felt
just
really
like
surreal.
Finally it happened.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the weight of the event was thick in the air. It had this feel to it that was very different than any other show we'd ever put together.
Dang, I wish I was there. That's the one show I wish I was at because it's so special. And it's gonna be tough to beat that, but
it'll never be. I mean, you'll have big giant events for sure, but it'll never be like that because that was the last block of corruption.
Correct.
That was standing in front of the UFC getting into New York.
I got a little worried when I saw where was I? I think I was in Atlanta doing a live show, but I saw on the Twitter like the crazy press conference with Conor doing that stuff. I'm like, I'm not, and it was kind of weird. I was like, well, it seems a little gimmicky, blah blah blah. And then the weigh-ins, he looked a little more serious. And then the night of the fights, I was like, I mean, you couldn't have written a better show. I mean, the fights, the night, the way everything happened, it was amazing, man.
It was amazing.
By far the best UFC I've ever seen.
It was
by far.
The main event was almost bizarre. It's almost bizarre how good Conor is.
Right?
Almost bizarre the way he picked apart Eddie Alvarez. Almost bizarre.
And
like magical. That's almost the word I want to use.
Correct.
Like he touches motherfuckers with that left hand.
Have you ever seen Eddie Alvarez just get, like, they didn't even look like they were in the same planet. Like one guy looked like he was from Mars. The other guy looked like he was just a normal dude trying to figure it out.
Well, it looked like Eddie, the moment he got hit, was like, what the fuck?
You could see on his face, he was like, holy but Jesus, what am I doing here? And then he goes, well, all right, he's not very good at wrestling. Let me try this wrestling. And Conor's like, that was your shot? Oh, bro, you're in for a long night. I think Eddie realized, like, holy fuck.
Well, he's already touched up a little bit when he finally went in for the shot. You know, and I just think Conor knew then also that he had him.
And how calm was he?
Ridiculously.
Just calm, upright, and just waiting. And then the accuracy of that combo that finally finished Eddie, that's what I think makes Conor so special, is his accuracy when he throws punches. Eddie's moving as he's landing this stuff. I've never seen anything like you said, it was straight up magical. I'm like, all right, well, we've never seen a guy like this. We just haven't. I don't know if we ever will either.
It's really interesting, too, when I was interviewing him. He's like, you got to have some attributes if you want to beat me. You got to be tall. You got to be big. Give me these guys my size.
What he's doing, though, it's so... He's a once-in-a-lifetime guy because he's setting the ceiling. Like, there's no boundaries for him. Like, he's just like, I'll fight Nate at 70. I'll 45. Sure, I'll murk Aldo in 13 seconds, and I'll come to 55. Like, we've never seen this kind of creativity, and we've also never seen the UFC allow someone to do this either.
Yeah, well, he's just such a unique personality. It's undeniable. But also his style. In a lot of ways, he kind of does a lot of, like, what Wonder Boy does, but with less kicks. Like, he throws kicks to the body. He'll throw, like, some front kicks. I mean, you know, like maybe 70% as many kicks. Wonder Boy's a little more kick heavy, but it's that sideways style. And I think he does it better.
Me too.
Like, there's maybe something about the focus of the shots that he's landing, the precision of them. Because Wonder Boy very rarely, like, touches somebody up like that with a punch. He just doesn't have that kind of power.
Yeah, you're right. I think Wonder Boy is better at surprising guys with his kicks and his angles, but Conor sets it up and he's landing combos that are all so precise and this power. Like, he's touching dudes and you can see it on their face.
Yeah.
He touched Eddie and Eddie's like, what the f...
Well, not only that, he's hitting him in a surprise way and he's not telegraphing it at all. Like, his ability to, like, go from bouncing around to launching that shot is so quick. It's so precise and it's so focused and there's no fat in his movements. It's just bam.
Yeah, and they said there's going to be a big announcement afterwards, and obviously his girl's pregnant, which, I mean, it's a personal big announcement for him, but I think he says he's going to take time off and he wants a piece of the pie. He wants a piece of WME and what they're doing now, which is hilarious, right?
I love it.
Me too. I love it, and he's the first fighter ever that can talk like this.
How old is he?
Was Conor 26? Maybe 27, 26?
You got to think...
28.
Gotta think he's a smart guy too. I would hope at least. I don't see him fighting deep into his 30s.
No, especially the way he talks, because he goes, now that I have a kid, I know what I bring to the table. I want to be set financially for the rest of my life. If you guys want me to fight again, yeah, I'm going to need to be set for the rest of my life. I want a part of this pie. And he's his next fight, and it's going to be such a fight, is with WME. It's not with anyone out there. If you think he's fighting Ferguson or Khabib next, you're batshit crazy. That's not happened for a very long time.
Maybe they work it out. Who
I
knows?
don't think so. I think the next fight, again, I don't know. This is just me going off whatever the hell I think, Joe, but I think his next fight would be Nate for the belt at 55. Because if you look at Khabib and Tony, they're both deserving, and we're MMA purists. We're balls deep in MMA. We love it. And one of those guys deserves it. As far as numbers in a big pay-per-view, it would have to be Nate.
Do you really think they would do Nate again?
100%.
Wow.
I don't think Nate or Conor will fight unless if that has to be the matchup.
I think Conor will fight someone else. I think Conor might even fight Woodley.
I think you'd see a fight with Woodley before you see Khabib or Ferguson. I think Khabib and Ferguson will fight each other before anything else.
Do you know how fucking crazy it would be if he decided to go up and fight Woodley?
It's so nuts. Obviously, Woodley has to get through Wonder Boy again, but
Does he?
it has to.
You think so?
Well,
Says who?
Dana said it's
Dana
immediate rematch.
said a lot of shit. He said
It's a good
Khabib
point.
was fighting for the title.
It's a good point. It was
Yeah.
like, nah. Me sure you're fighting for the title? Nah.
Yeah, he does that all the time. I don't think that means anything.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm just going based off what your boy said. He was like, that's the next rematch.
Like how you put it on me.
Well, he's more your friend than mine. You've worked with him forever.
I'm real
I
good
like the
friends
guy.
with him.
I like Dana. I just think, you have a closer relationship. So I say you're a boy, but he does say things and pulls back.
Yeah.
If Woodley and that's there, this is the other thing you got to worry about though. Not you don't have to worry about, something to think about. How much power are they going to give Conor? 45, 55, 70, just wraps up all the...
Dude, do you know how crazy that would be if he did it, though? I say let him do it. Let him try.
The UFC's going, we can't. He's going to take this
Woodley
bitch
will
over.
say it. Woodley will say, let him try.
Fuck yeah, Woodley will say, let him try. Woodley would love that.
You know how big Woodley looks compared to him?
Ginormous.
It's so bizarre looking at Woodley inside the octagon.
You know
he's the most jacked dude, I think, other than Yoel Romero. He's in there. He's in there.
Oh, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
1 and 2 right now.
And I think it's like interchangeable.
Yeah. It depends what you're into.
But Yoel flies through the air. Yoel does backflips at the beginning of every fight. At the beginning of every fight, he goes into the audience, or he goes into the cage, and he does back handsprings and literally launches himself through the air and lands on his feet.
Like it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's a solid landing.
And he's 200 pounds.
Correct, sir.
And he's flying.
flying.
He's the freakiest
And
freak
loves gay
athlete ever.
Jesus. Yes.